Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are bringing you from the Zozo Marine Stadium in Chiba, the Chiba Lotte Marines and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It is a battle of the second and third place teams in the NPB's Pacific League. Currently, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are in first place through their 70 games played, with a 39-30-1 record. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are nestled in second. They're a game and a half back of the leaders with 38 wins, 32 losses, and a tie in 71 games. And the Saitama Cebu Lions actually are in third, and the Chiba Lotte Marines are in fourth place. I said that they were in third. They're in fourth place. They're playing right at the 500 mark. They're 36-36-1. They're 4.5 games behind the leader. Really, it's a 5-team race in the Pacific League, as opposed to in the Central League. It's a one-horse race as the Occult Swallows are running away on everybody. It's more of a battle for second and third place positioning in the Central League. So tonight we will get you going here as we're going to give you the starting lineups. First of all, from the visitors from the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Leading off and playing in left field, wearing number 6 is Haruki Nishikawa. Batting second, playing shortstop, wearing number 0 is Hiroto Kobakata. Batting third and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 3 is Hideto Asamura. And the cleanup spot in right field, wearing number 35 is Hiroki Shimochi. Batting fifth and playing first base, wearing number 33 is Genji. Batting sixth and playing second base, wearing number 22 is Kaizo Kawashima. Batting seventh in center field, wearing number 8 is Ryosuke Tatsumi. Batting eighth and playing third base, wearing number 67 is Yasuhito Uchida. And batting ninth and doing the catching, wearing number 2 is Hikari Oda. And they are facing a left-hander in Kazuya Ojima, who has a 1-6 record on the season. He's worked 70 to third innings. He's allowed 61 hits, 25 runs, 18 earned, walking 20 and striking out 43. And he's pitched to a ERA of 2.30. And this one is ready to get underway as Nishikawa steps up to the plate. And here comes the first offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into left center field. Moving over underneath it is the center fielder, and that is Oka. He's going to make the catch, or Takabi actually is in center field tonight. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Nishikawa with 1 up and 1 away. And we are underway here in Chiba. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Hiroto Kobakata. For Kobakata on the season, he's batting .257. He's got no homers and 10 RBIs. He bats from the left side against the lefty Ojima, and he takes a first pitch fastball down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kobakata. We want to welcome everybody here tonight. We've got W. Vogs in the house. We'll catch up to you in a minute there, Will. Thanks for popping in. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0 to Kobakata. Will Vogs asked the question. He says, are there any MLB players on these teams? And the answer to that is yes. And there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. But there is nobody in the lineup tonight that has Major League pedigree from North America. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. Normally for Chiba, they've got Brandon Laird, they have Leonis Martin, and they have Edney Hechavarria. All 3 of those players are not in the lineup for Chiba. Jose Marmoleos, who was with the Mariners last year, was with Seattle. He is not in the lineup either. They also had a fellow, Chris Gittins, who they signed in the offseason, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. But Chris Gittins, we were watching a game earlier in the year, and he got hurt. He dislocated his shoulder on a swing. At first, we thought it might have been a rib or something like that. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2 to Kobakata. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Chiba, but it's a very windy day, and there's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, gets past the pitcher, and it goes into center field, and Hiroto Kobakata is aboard with a base hit, as he's the first base runner of the ball game for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. That's going to bring up the designated hitter tonight, Hideto Asamura. For Asamura on the season, he's batting .261. He's got 13 homers and 47 runs batted in. The Eagles rattled off a double-digit win streak earlier in the year, and that is long in the rearview mirror. Looking at the leadoff hitter, Haruki Nishikawa, he was the player of the month for the end of March/April. And boy, has his numbers fallen off big time as he's now dropped only to 224 with his batting average. He was absolutely stellar in that month of April. But so too have the numbers fallen off a little bit for the Golden Eagles offense. So here comes the first offering to Masamura, and it is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and one strike to Masamura. Masamura is showing the production of old as he's got those 47 runs batted in. A couple of seasons ago, he drove in over 100 runs. We were a little bit tardy in getting some stuff off tonight. We are getting our lineups and all of our stuff in play here. Again, there's a throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is the base runner, Kobakata. Kobakata does have some wheels. He's got 7 stolen bases on the year. He's got a healthy lead over at first base. And here's the pitch to Asamura. There goes the runner. And here comes the throw down to second base, and it's not going to be in time as he is able to beat the throw. Kobakata got a good jump, and he was able to steal second base off of the lefty Ojima. Sato makes a good throw, but it is not in time. It's a high tag. It was right up around the midsection. So that is going to run the count now. We didn't get the count on that one to Asamura. See what the umpire had called in that situation. So here we go back to the live action. And here's the offering. It is a fastball that misses down. I pitched to Asamura. The first one was a ball, and so too is the second one. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Asamura. To be followed by Hiroki Shimouchi, who waits his turn on deck. So Ojima ready to go back to work. He checks the runner Kobakata at second. He checks him again, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and tap foul. That's going to even the count now to 2-2 on Asamura. As Will Voggs had asked the question earlier, are there any major leaguers on these teams? As we said, there's nobody tonight in the lineup. Really, for the Marines, Brandon Laird had been productive for a little bit. Leonis Martin was really struggling this year. And Edney Hechavarria was hitting like Edney Hechavarria did in the big leagues. He was down around the 200 mark. There's a breaking ball that misses outside to Asamura, and the count now runs full. That's back-to-back hitters that Ojima has loaded the count up to. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ojima ready to give the payoff pitch to Asamura. He gets the sign from his catcher, Sato, and he holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep center field. Moving back underneath it is Takabe. It looks like he's got room, and he is going to haul that one in for the second out of the inning. Tagging at second is Kobakata, and he is off to third. And he goes going to be in there standing up. And that is a fly ball out for Asamura. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. We are just trying to sort up. It looks like we're going to have to run our B feed again tonight, too. Had to do it in the daytime today. It was a bit frustrating on the Major League game that we called earlier. It was a great game between the Cubs and the Red Sox. Maybe not if you're a Red Sox fan, as the Cubs were able to come back and win the game. But we were having to run our B feed during that game because it was a bit of a challenge for us. And we're going to have to do the same here, it looks like, tonight, because we're struggling with the A feed. So here comes Hiroki Shimouchi to the plate. And the first pitch to Shimouchi is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Shimouchi. Shimouchi batting from the left side, hitting .277 on the season with 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. And here comes the offering from Ojima, and it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shimochi. And as we say, we're having to do a little catch up here on some stuff. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. And that is going to run the count now to 1-2 on Shimochi. Sometimes it is a challenge where you're having to do a couple of things and not only be able to do the play-by-play, but you're also doing the production. And that's what makes it fun sometimes, but sometimes it's a bit of a pain having to manage all the other stuff in behind. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Ojima kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lined down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. That's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shimochi. The runner at third is Kobakata. There's 2 away. We're in the top of the first inning on a beautiful sunny day in Chiba. A little bit windy. But Japan is in a heat wave, and there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Shimochi is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Golden Eagles in their half of the first inning. They had no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. The Chiba Lotte Marines coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the first inning. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Stay tuned. Here's Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Now the starting lineup for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Leading off in left field, wearing number 0 is Takashi Ojino. Batting second and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 3 is Katsuya Kakanaka. Hitting third and playing second base, wearing number 8 is Shogo Nakamura. In the cleanup spot and playing third base is Hisanori Yasuda. Batting fifth and doing the catching is Toshiya Sato. He wears number 32. Batting sixth at first base is number 51, Koki Yamaguchi. Batting seventh in center field, number 38 is Akito Takabe. Batting eighth in right field, there, number 25 is Hiromi Oka. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 67, Kenta. And we're going to have to get you that in a second because I can't even read my own writing at this time of the night, guys. Apologize to everybody for that. And here we go. We're back to the action. It's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Ojino. They're facing the left-hander Wataru Kirishima, who is 2-1 on the season. And the lefty rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ojino. We're having our struggles here tonight, then that just seems to be the way when you can't get everything all going for you in one. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field. Moving over to his right is the left fielder, Nishikawa, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Ojino for the first out of the inning here. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Katsuya Kakanaka. I say Kakanaka because the English literal translation is in the corner. And that's what I kind of get a kick out of when I see that every time. He's 11 for 41 on the season as Kakanaka. He's got a unique hitting stance. He bats from the left side. It's an open stance, and he really puts his weight on his backside. Takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kakanaka has not been in the lineup that often this year. This is only his 21st ball game of the year. At 268 batting average. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses low. Out now. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's got no homers and 1 RBI and 1 stolen base on the year. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kakanaka. Shogo Nakamura, the captain of the Marines, is waiting his turn on deck. He'll bat next. Comes the 1-2 offering. And it is a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2 on Kakanaka. Kakanaka has been a lifetime Chiba player. He's been in there at the NPB level since 2007. And there is a breaking ball swung on it. It is grounded over to second. It is fielded neatly by the second baseman Kawashima as he moves to his left. He throws to first. That is going to retire Kakanaka on a ground out 4-3 for out number 2. And that's going to leave it all up to Shogo Nakamura. For Nakamura, he's batting .252 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 35 runs batted in. He has slowly brought his batting average up through the year. He got off to a rather lethargic start. Here comes the first offering from Kirishima. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Nakamura, of course, is the captain of the Marines. He wears the C proudly on his jersey. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirishima ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion from the windup. He kicks and he fires. It is a fastball that just misses down and outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. There's a pretty good pitch mix from Kirishima. We saw him pitch a couple of weeks ago. Very, very impressive. This lefty here. And here he rocks back into the motion again. He delivers it as a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Hisanori Yasuda, the third baseman, waits his turn on deck for the Marines. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Nakamura was starting to make his way to first base, but the umpire raised his right hand and brings him back. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've got Joe in the house, like father, like son. We appreciate you for being here. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is popped up over on the right side. Camping out underneath it is the first baseman, Ginji. He makes the catch, and that is going to do it here for the 3rd out of the inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stay tuned, everybody. Hang tight. We're glad you guys are with us. As I said, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. I'll have to catch up on my chat as we go because we are going to be using the B feed a bit. Here is our friend Dave. Check out his channel after the game.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the second inning, and it is going to be Genji, Kaizo Kawashima, and Ryosuke Tatsumi to come up to face the left-hander Kazuya Ojima. And that is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the Tohoku batting order. For Genji on the season, he is batting .346. He's got no homers and 13 RBIs. There's only one player in the lineup tonight for the Eagles that's got double-digit home runs, and that was Hideto Asamura with 13. Power has been a bit of a problem in the Pacific League this year. There have not been a lot of home runs. The power has been coming big time in the Central League, and there's a first pitch breaking ball that misses up and away to Genji, and the count is quickly 1-0. Genji bats from the left side against the left-hander. The Golden Eagles have a left-handed loaded lineup. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. That's something that you see in the Japanese league. They don't shy away from hitting the lefties against lefties. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1 to Genji. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Ojima kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to right field. It's into the corner. It's going to be extra bases. Genji digging for 2. It's picked up in the corner by the right fielder Oka. He fires it in. It is cut off by Nakamura, and it is going to be a stand-up double to lead off the inning here for Genji. And he is aboard with nobody out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Kaizo Kawashima. Our friend Wintermaid is back in the house. We appreciate you for being here, and thanks for stopping in. Wintermaid checked in earlier today on the Cubs and the Red Sox and cashed in on that Cub comeback. So we're going to see what we have here tonight. I am going to have to be looking at my B feed here, so I'm not going to be able to engage as much with the chat. As Kawashima is ready on the first offering from the left-hander Ojima, but instead they fakes the throw back to second base. We're having to battle with our feeds for some reason tonight. I don't know why that is. We had to do that earlier today as well. But we'll see if we can get this sorted out at our end. And we did by about the third inning of the Cub-Red Sox game. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1 to Kawashima. But nevertheless, we got both the feeds going here. So in the event we got a problem. We got Alexander Leggett in the house. And he says the Cubs came back. They sure did. The Cubs were losing on the first pitch of the ball game. Jaron Duran hit a solo shot just under the batter's eye in center field to get things rolling for the Red Sox. The Red Sox had a 4-0 lead at one point and couldn't hang on. They lost 6-5. There's a fastball that misses inside to Kawashima, and the count is 1-1. For Kawashima on the season, he's hitting a .176. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. Gets the nod at second base today as Hideto Asamura is getting the spot at DH. So here comes the 1-1 offering. Ojima kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. Kawashima. I'm expecting this weekend to be a big weekend. We're going to try to double back tomorrow morning and get you the Yankees and the Guardians. We're going to try to jump on that one. And then we're going to come back and do these same 2 teams tomorrow night. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 2-2. We're going to try to do 7 games in 4 days. Or see if we can pull it off. Trying to get a couple more on the holiday Monday for our friends who are south of the border. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kawashima. He digs in on the right side, waiting on the offering from the lefty Ojima. Ojima holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's grounded foul on the first base side this time, and the count remains at 2-2. It's completely frustrating when we're having to do these multiple feeds. That's exactly what we're doing right here. We're having to do a bit of a juggling act. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch to Kawashima. It kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped over the head of the pitcher. Charging hard is Nakamura. He fields and throws on the run, and that is going to retire the speedy Kawashima. It's going to go down as a ground out 4-3, but he gets the job done as he advances the runner over to third. As Genji is now at third with one out, and that's going to bring up the center fielder Ryosuke Tatsumi. And we've got Troy in the house tonight too. He says, I just placed my bet before the game. Well, maybe not just before the game, but right now he took the under. And probably a good decision on the under and with these two pitchers. Although I have to say the pitcher for the Marines, Ojima, he's had no love this year. He's got a really tight ERA at 2.30. And he's got a 1-6 record on the year. He has not had much support from the Marines offensively. There's a first pitch fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. No import players in the lineup today for the Marines at this point. So Wintermaid says he just put 250 on the over. I don't know if I'd be putting money on the over. There's a lack of firepower in the lineup here tonight. So no balls and 1 strike it is to Tatsumi. Ojima kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-1. Our friend Shotgun Shell was in here earlier today. He said he was going to be joining us at some point here tonight. We were chuckling a little bit. He has been clamoring for the Japanese cheerleader commercial video. And we're going to debut one tonight. We got a little bit of work on this, but we'll let one rip. Let's see what you guys think. I say commercial, but it's more of our infomercial. We don't actually get compensated for doing our own stuff. So yes, just looking here as we've got Tatsumi at the plate, the runner Genji at third, and Uchida waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Ryosuke Tatsumi. Just doing our homework a little bit here. As we said, we got off to a bit of a wonky start. Some of our feeds. And there is a fastball that swung on and missed. And the count now goes even to 2-2 on Tatsumi. So we've had to do a little bit of catch up on some of our stuff. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatsumi's going to try to get this ball in play here. They've set him up inside. They're going to attack him under the hands. Here comes the pitch. And they almost hit him. In fact, they did hit him. As the home plate umpire indicates, it is, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the one you want to get hit by. They tried to back him off the plate, I assume, so they could go away and set him up, but they end up coming in just a little too close. It looked like it caught him on the jersey, as his jersey is a little bit loose. As he tried to back up, that's actually them. And he's got first base on a hit by pitch, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yasuhiro Uchida. Uchida getting the start tonight at third. He's batting .204 on the season. He's got a homer and 11 RBIs. He bats from the right side. The catcher, Sato, is out in front of the plate, flashing the signals for the first and third defense. Hopefully our feeds have settled down a little bit. We can join you guys in for the chat. Have to go back up to the top. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, I'm unswearing off my prohibition on gambling on the NPB. He made $200 last time, so Lord knows if he can do it again. Good for you, Alexander. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Uchida. He says, wait, Japanese cheerleader commercials. Yeah, we got a Japanese cheerleader stuff coming up. Let that one rip. Wintermaid says his book has a $1,000 bet limit on this game. Not bad. That's probably the right thing. Alexander Leggett's typing off of his phone. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Troy says he's never tried to place a bet that high on these games. Yeah, the problem with the Japanese games sometimes, and I say this to you guys who are the ones who are putting the money on stuff, the challenge that there is that when you're putting the money down, they only come up with the lineups about 45 minutes to an hour before the game. So even for our own preparation, we don't get them submitted. It's kind of traditional that the Japanese coaches and managers will wait. They'll watch the batting practice and they'll make their evaluation on how the players are swinging in BP to set their lineups up. There's a ball thrown over to first base, and getting back in time is the runner, Tatsumi. Wintermaid says he knows nothing about the games. He just enjoys showing up. Our friend Nash is in the house. He was here earlier today, too. He says, heads up, we spelled Eagles wrong. That's probably the case. And maybe that's why we're not getting everybody in here. So we'll make sure we make that a little adjustment. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-2 on Uchida. Sometimes that happens in haste. There we are. It would be the difference of the couple of things there. So I don't know if we're going to be able to make that adjustment at all in the in-game situation. There's a fly ball hit to right field. That ball is going to be deep enough. Tagging at third is the base runner, Ginji, and he is going to score, and it is going to be a 1-0 lead for the Golden Eagles. It's going to go down as a sacrifice fly to 9. Uchida gets himself an RBI. Ginji scores. Tatsumi stays at first. And the score right now is 1-0 for the Golden Eagles. And just when I thought we had everything sorted, we're going back to the B feed because the A feed has frozen up. So I'm going to be a little bit slow getting back in with you guys when we're talking here. So we appreciate you guys there. I'll hold in as best we can. I'm going to try to fire up a second feed so I can watch the chat on a different channel as well. And there's a first pitch delivered to Hikari Oka that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. See if I can do something here. We're not going to necessarily join this here. There's a breaking ball down. It squirts away from the catcher. And advancing to second base is Tatsumi. Good piece of base running. As we are checking it out, I've got the B feed up for the stream as well. So hopefully this is going to be able to work. Nash says we spent the title wrong on the Eagles. Unfortunately, we can't change that, as I said, Nash, now until after the game. Made $300 on that White Sox win, so it's time to relax and watch some NPB stuff. So here comes the 1-1 offering to Oda. And that is the breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So there's 2 away here in the second inning. The runner at second is Tatsumi. There's 1 run on the board now for the Eagles, and Oda as the batter here, and he's got a 2-1 count on him. And there is a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is now 3-1. So if you guys can only see this here, this is what I call multitasking. Our friend Wintermaid says he was hoping for that Oakland game to go over. I was maybe giving it some thought about maybe going down to see one of the games in that series. Contemplating maybe going to see the Blue Jays and the Mariners in one of the games later in the week. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. If I do the Thursday game, that means I'll be calling Fridays and Saturdays. If I don't do the Thursday game, I go down on Friday, then I'm not going to be calling a game on Friday night. But I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. And that is a breaking ball that is swung on and tapped foul right at home plate. It's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Oda. This has not been a great inning for the pitcher or the great start so far for Ojima. He's already at 44 pitches here. We're in the second inning. It is a hot day, sunny day, but it is a windy day in Chiba. Here comes the 3-2 offering. It is a fastball that Misses inside. Sato holds the pitch. Ojima didn't know where it was. That looked pretty good. We sometimes are offset on the camera angle, so we don't always get the full look. But boy, oh boy, it looked like he hit his spot. It looked like Oda was ready to return to the dugout. That's going to be ball 4. Oda is now the runner at first, Tatsumi at second, and it's going to bring the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa, to the plate. Alexander Leggett says, our stream is perfectly synced with the commentary. We appreciate you. The problem is that we're having to bounce back and forth on this here. So I've got a little different setup going on. Normally I'm watching the game on one and looking at the stream on the other, and I've got it inverted. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 on Nishikawa. Bizarre. Just the way it's working out today. Can't seem to get our stuff together, but it's the way it is sometimes. That's what makes it all the more fun. So Nishikawa waiting on the 0-1 offering from Ojima, who holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped slowly over to first. It is fielded neatly by the first baseman, Yamaguchi, who steps on the bag. And that is going to do it for the Eagles here in their half of the second inning. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, they got 1 run in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're through 1.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 2, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. At the bottom of the second inning, we're glad you guys could be with us here tonight. Hang tight. Go check out some cheerleaders. Let me know what you think. Got to work on this one a bit. We're right back in just a minute, everybody. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. It is 1-0 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. We're glad you're with us. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into the bottom of the second inning, and it is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Marines. It'll be Hisanori Yasuda, Toshiya Sato, and Koki Yamaguchi to get things going here against the left-hander for the Golden Eagles, Kirishima. As we said, we are struggling a little bit here with our feed, so we'll bounce back and forth. Here comes the first offering from Kirishima, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yasuda. Yasuda on the season is batting .241. He's got a couple of homers and 11 runs batted in. Hitting from the left side against the left-hander Kirishima, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So I take it Alexander Leggett gets the thumbs up for the cheerleader video based on what we've seen there. I've got another one with a bunch of different ones, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 to Yasuda. We're going to play with that a little bit and see what we are able to manage. Hopefully something will come up well our way. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yasuda. Here's the offering. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Falling down is the third baseman. That is Uchida. He slipped and fell. He lost his footing. And then he was able to stop the ball, thankfully. And that is going to go down as an infield hit for Yasuda. It's not an error. And it looked like he needs to sharpen his skates a little bit. As he did, he slipped and fell, and then he stopped the ball. He was ranging to his right to get himself set up. But he went for a little bit of a skate there for sure. No, I wouldn't call that an error, Alexander. I just think that was, he just fell over on his own. I would say no error on that one. It was just his footing. He didn't actually naturally boot the ball. They'd probably award that a base hit. There's a throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. We'll get a confirmation on that one. I'm pretty confident in that call that they won't rule that one an error. So here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Toshiya Sato, and he takes that one just off the outside corner. And as we're giving you this description, we're getting all kinds of other stuff that's bouncing in here. The count is 1-0 to Sato. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kirishima goes to the Moshi, delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It is to the catcher Sato. As we said, we'll give you the confirmation on that Yasuda, but one would have to think that is probably going to be the case. It's probably going to be a base hit. So here comes the 1-1 delivery. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. And the count now is at 1-2. Alexander said, talking about the pickoff. Yeah, I've had to bounce back and forth a couple of times here. And so I've missed a couple of the little intricacies that are going on, especially the little pickoffs and the throwovers. Not to mention, we've had multiple stuff going on. This is, as I said, sometimes it gets a little bit jittery. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Sato is retired for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Koki Yamaguchi. For Yamaguchi, on the season, he's batting .239. He's got 5 homers and 21 RBIs. He's also got a stolen base on the year. Doesn't run particularly well. So Yamaguchi steps in. The runner at first, Yasuda, establishes his lead. Yamaguchi really holds the bat out in front, right at shoulder height. He pulls it back as he takes his hands into the launch position, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Definitely get to see a lot of interesting stuff from the Japanese players. A lot of body armor over in the Japanese league too. He's got armor on his left hand. He's got it on his left leg. I always tell hitters, when you watch somebody come to the plate and they're wearing a shin guard, it tells you a lot about their swing. They got a long swing. As that fastball misses upstairs and the count is 1-1. Wear the shin guard and you're telling everybody else your swing is long. Alexander Leggett says, I'd love to commentate with you on one of these ones. Good cop, bad cop dynamic. Yeah, I haven't really figured out how we're going to do this other one here. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 2-1. I'd like to do a couple of games where I got a couple of friends of mine who were ex-big leaguers, and we'll talk about doing some of that stuff. Maybe get them to come in and do the color commentating, and I can do the play-by-play as we watch this here together. That would be very entertaining, at least hearing from perspective. There's the ball thrown over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Yasuda, easily. Still 2 balls and 1 strike. Akito Takabe, the center fielder, is waiting his turn on deck. Alexander Leggett says, retweet about the shin guards. Yeah, here we go. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 3-1. Yeah, if you're wearing a shin guard, it tells you that your swing is long. Do something for yourself. Fix your swing. Don't worry about your shin guard. It should be a reminder every time you foul it off your lead foot that your swing is long. And there's another one on deck. Takabi's got one on too. We should do a shin guard count one night to see how many hitters come up in the order that are wearing a shin guard. Fix your swing. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and this is fouled off down the right field line. That's going to run the count now to 3-2 on Yamaguchi. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yamaguchi digs in. He's ready for the offering from the left-hander Kirishima, who holds at the chest. And now he kicks in, delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and Yamaguchi is aboard with a base on balls. Yasuda was on the move. That is going to be, he gets to go in there easily, and that's going to be runner at first and second with 1 away, and that'll bring up Akito Takabi. It's also going to bring the second baseman in to have a chat with his left-hander. So Takabi on the season is batting .267. He's got a homer and 17 runs batted in. He's one of the quicker players in the lineup. He's got 25 stolen bases this year already. So he's going to be a tough one to double up on the back end. Alexander Leggett says there's lots of Marine jerseys out there. Always surprised by the Japanese spirit. Hard to get that kind of coordination at the Nationals Park. Well, there's something that I should point out. When I was in Japan in the months of December, January for a couple of years there, you very rarely see anyone. There's a fastball that misses down and away. You very rarely see anyone wearing baseball paraphernalia. It's hard to see the hats or the jerseys. I know it's not the time of the year, but I was, kind of surprised. Usually you'd think you see people walking around sporting a hat or a jersey or a t-shirt or something. I think they just save it for the games. One thing I do notice about the Japanese public, I have to take my hat to them, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted just foul down the right field line. It's going to be in the corner, and that is going to run the count now even to 1-1. The Japanese public really know how to dress in general. When you're riding on the transit system, you're out in public, they really know how to dress as a whole. You get into some communities, and certainly in North America, people are wearing their blue jeans with the holes in it and all the rest of that stuff. But it's like a fashion show on the subway trains, both for the men and the women, at least in Osaka and Tokyo, where I spent most of my time. I've spent time in other places too, but very, very well-dressed communities. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. They flip it to Kobakata, covering second for 1, back to first, and it is a double play. Takabi, a tough guy to double up who runs well, grounds into the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the second. They threaten, but they don't score. There were no runs in the inning on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 3rd inning after this when we return. Glad you guys could be here with us tonight. We appreciate that, and we appreciate your support. Here is our friend, Matt Hollis.
You got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the third inning. It is a 1-0 ball game for the Tohoku Rakuten Gold Eagles. They'll be sending the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate. That means it's Kobakata, Asamura, and Shimochi here to face Ojima in the top of the third inning. Kobakata is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first inning. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Alexander Leggett asks if I've been to a rural area as well, rural places. And there's a fastball or a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Only just some parts on my way to Kyoto and, just some little places that are on the in-between, but nothing really what I would consider to be, truly rural. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. I often thought it would be kind of cool just to go over there for a month, rent a bicycle in the summertime, ride your bike around in middle of nowhere and see what you could come up with. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher. It is fielded by Ojima. He's got the time. He throws to first. That is going to retire Kobakata on a ground out 1-3 for out number 1. So 1 away, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideto Asamura. Asamura, who's the designated hitter tonight, is 0 for 1. He flew to center field his first time up. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Hideto Asamura. Asamura entered the game hitting .261. He's got 13 homers on the season. As we said, he's the only player in the lineup with double-digit home runs. And he takes the fastball outside. The appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and the count is now 2-0. Our friend Alexander Leggett said it feels like Takabe is due for a big one sometime. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike last inning. Takabe, it's a little bit surprising that he's hitting that deep in the batting order and hitting like he is. What is it? Takabe is hitting .262. You'd think that the offensively starved Marines would have him more at the top of the order. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Asamura. But that's one of the challenges when you're doing the games. We're doing the games, but we were not doing them daily. And if you don't see a team daily, you can't get a feel for it. There's a fastball that misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4 as Asamura has drawn himself a walk. It's the second free pass issued today by the lefty Ojima. He's also hit a guy. So his command and his control are a little bit in doubt right now. Alexander Leggett says maybe they know something we don't when he's batting down deep in the order. As I say, you get a real feel when you're watching the same team every day. Because we're sporadic and we get them in spots or spurts, sometimes guys can fool you. And Hiroki Shimochi squares to bunt. He drops it down. It's a good one. Off the mound comes the pitcher Ojima. He fields it. He throws to first. That ought to tell you what Shimochi's feeling these days. If he's dropping down sack bunts, I'm sure I want to take the bat out of his hands, but he has gone for out number 2. It's advanced Asamura into scoring position. That's going to bring up the first baseman Genji, who's been on an absolute tear. Genji is 1 for 1. He's doubled and scored the only run of the ball game tonight. And he is coming to bat here with 2 out in the third inning. Got to keep rolling him out. He's raised his average to .352 on the campaign. Look at some of the import players that the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have brought in over the last couple of years. They just haven't paid dividends. We saw that Chris Gittins earlier this year who separated his shoulder on a swing. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Jose Marmoleos, who was the MVP of the AAA last year, he's out of the lineup right now, but he's had a bit of a yo-yo season. He started off poorly, he got better, and then was kind of up and down. So here's the 1-0 offering, and it's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. I don't know if they're going to pull this one off or not, and the reason I say that is because I'd be curious to see, and I say this sincerely, I'd be really curious to see if they're able to do that. And I say this, Alexander, as he says he thinks that the Golden Eagles are going to pull this one off. I'm not so sure about that. When I missed the rest of the Ginji at bat, it looks like he is aboard here with a runner at first and second. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, so Genji is the runner at first. And that's going to bring up Kawashima to the plate. There's a breaking ball that's down in the dirt. A good block by Sato. Is going to be ball one. As we said, we've had some technical challenges, and of course that cropped up right at that point in time. So Genji is aboard. And here comes the 1-0 offering to Kawashima. Ojima delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes even to 1-1. Just trying to keep up with some of that stuff, and it's happening there. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike to Kawashima. Ojima checks the runner at first, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right center field. Moving over to his right is Oka. He's got room. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Kawashima for the second out of the inning, or the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Golden Eagles in their half of the third. So they strand a couple of runners aboard. They don't score any runs. There were no errors in the inning. I got to check my hits as I come back. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We got a Guess Who Marine coming up on the feed. I don't know who it is, but we'll be back in just a couple moments after we pay our stuff. Hang tight, everybody.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And that is Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check out his channel. He's got all kinds of crazy things, that's for sure. It is going to be Hiromi Oka, Kenta Chitani, at the top of the order, Takashi Ojino to get things going against the left-hander for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, Kirishima. Just updating some of our stuff over here. And we're ready to get this one back underway. We'll see if our other stream has been updating, and it hasn't at this point. So we are still working off of the B feed, so to speak. So Hiromi Oka steps up, and he's ready to face the first pitch from the lefty Kirishima, who rocks into motion and kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kirishima ready to go back to work. And here comes the 1-0 offering. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses, and the count has now gone to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We definitely have written off the A feed tonight. We're working off of this B for the rest of the evening, it looks like. So here comes the offering. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 2-1. Our friend Alexander Leggett figures that the Eagles are going to win this one. Well, the Marines, be interesting to see the firepower they bring off the bench late. As long as this game can stay close. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's tapped slowly back to the pitcher. It is fielded by Kirishima. He fields it and throws to first. And Hiromi Oka is retired on a ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up the shortstop, Kenta Chitani. Chitani getting the nod tonight. He's batting at .222 on the season. He's got no homers and no runs batted in. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Takashi Ogino. So here's Kirishima. He rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Chitani batting from the right side against the left-hander Kirishima, who rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that just misses low, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirishima rocking into the motion. He kicks and he fires. It's again a fastball down in the dirt. The count is 2-1. He's been a lot more economical in his pitch count than his counterpart Ojima. Kirishima is only at 31 pitches through the first couple innings. Here's the 2-1 offering. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. It is fielded neatly by Uchida. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Ogino on a ground out 5-3 for out number. Chitani is retired for out number 3. Goes as a ground out 5-3 for out number 2. And that is going to bring up Takashi Ogino here with 2 away in the third inning. Good boy. Got my tongue all twisted around here. So here's Ogino to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's flown to left field his first time up. He's batting .291 on the season now after they fly out to left field his first time. And here's the offering. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Ogino batting in the top spot. He's got 5 stolen bases this year. There are some players in this Marines lineup who can run a little bit. There's a breaking ball that is called a ball. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Ogino didn't go. And the count is now even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirishima rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. Squaring to bunt is Ojina. It's a good one down the third base line. They're going to have to hurry to get him, and it's not going to be in time. Uchida was racing hard in. He barehanded the ball, threw it on the run, but they were not able to make the play. I'm sure they're going to want to maybe take a look at this, but I think on our first sight, Ogino had the speed to be able to beat that one out. And he is going to be the runner at first base. Nice job. It was a decent play by Uchida, who threw on the run, but it was definitely not in time. So Gino is the runner at first. That brings up Katsuya Kakanaka to the plate. Alexander Leggett says he's got his hot dog and extra beer since the last comment. And what did he miss in that time? Not a whole lot. So the runner at first is Ogino, and here's the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Kakanaka. The count is quickly 0-1. It's ironic I had some hot dogs as well today for the dinner. Unfortunately, they're chicken dogs. They're not really the real thing. But they worked just the same. Here's the 0-1 pitch now to Kakanaka, but instead they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Ogino. Our friend Vivid Life is in the house. He says he likes the chicken hot dogs himself. I have no choice at this point. The red meat has gotten the best of me. I've got to stay away from it. And there's another throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is the base runner Ogino. Vivid Life says, great introductory comment. Welcome to the stream, Vivid Life. We're glad you're with us. Probably working late night in the hotel industry. And if not, maybe he's staying up and just listening just the same. There's another throw over to first base, and again, diving back in time is the base runner Ogino. I have to say that was an interesting camera angle we had on Ogino diving back to the base. I don't know, haven't seen that one. It was literally a close-up of the bag and him going headfirst back into it. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball. There goes the runner, but the runner held on the brakes, came back to first. The throw is into right field. It is fielded by Shimauchi. Here comes the throw to third base, and it is going to be cut off. It was an absolutely terrible throw by the catcher, Oda. It looked like they wanted to go down to second base, and then it looked like he didn't plant his feet properly, and he threw down to first to try to get the runner, Ogino, and he throws the ball into right field. Great coverage by Hiroki Shimauchi to get over. But as they said, he stepped as if he was throwing to second, and he ended up it just airmailed the first baseman right down the right field line. The runner, Ogino, is kind of chuckling over at third base. It's definitely going to go down as an error on the catcher. It's going to even the count on Kakanaka at 1-1, and now the Marines have a threat going where there was no threat at all with 2 out here in the third inning. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Alexander Leggett was laughing at that one because he's got the feed sunk up to his stream. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. I can't describe it anymore. It looked like that the catcher, Oda, was trying to throw to second base. So think about his footwork aimed to second. And instead, he threw it to first base, and he airmails the first baseman, Ginji. As the ball went down into the corner, the base runner is off to the races. The next thing you know, Gino's now on third base with 2 away here, and it's a 2-1 count to Kakanaka. A base hit here, and it's going to be a gift right back for the Marines. There's a fastball that misses inside, and now the count is 3-1 to Kakanaka. Alexander Leggett says the U.S. hotel people us hotel people are most likely to become lovers of the NPB. It's our target audience. I'll share a funny story with you in my hotel experience in the Czech Republic when we were there. Here comes the 3-1 offering. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-2. Maybe save that one to the next inning. But while you guys are working your fingertips, you can Google Hotel International Prague. And you can see what I'm talking about. And then I'll tell you the stories about that haunted hotel in the next inning. Great place to stay, though. A lot of history in that place. If the walls could talk, we'd probably tell a million stories. So here comes the 3-2 offering. And it is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into shallow center field. There's time and space for Tatsumi. He camps underneath it. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it as Kakanaka has been retired for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they got a hit in the inning. There was an error, so no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left the board. The Chiba Lotte Marines couldn't capitalize on the Golden Eagles' mistake. We are now through 3 innings. It is 1-0 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Glad you guys are with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out for all his crazy stuff. He's already got these Saturday morning cartoons posted for tomorrow, so you can let us know what you think. It's going to be the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the batting order coming up for Tohoku. That means it's Ryosuke Tatsumi, Yasuhiro Uchida, and Hikari Oda. And Tatsumi is officially 0 for 0 tonight as he was hit by a pitch his first time up. And here comes the first offering from Ojima. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ryosuke Tatsumi. And Ojima back to work. He delivers a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and now the count goes to 1-1. Started talking the last inning about the Hotel International Prague. It was actually a gift from the old Soviet Union to the Czechoslovakia at the time. It was a breaking ball that drops in, and the count is now 1-2. And we kind of called it the Haunted Hotel when we went there because they play this eerie music 24/7 through the hallways. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. And when you stay there, it's something that, as I said, it was a gift from the old Soviet Union, but it was originally a military-type barrack. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and that is strike 3 as Tatsumi stands there and watches that go by for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Yasuhiro Uchida. But if you ever get a chance to go to Prague in the Czech Republic, what a great place to stay. Their breakfast is high-end, top drawer. The rates are pretty cheap. So when we stayed there in the summertime, we were paying, Eastern European rate. You're looking at about, in American money, probably about $50 US a night. But it was pretty classy place. There's a ball that is down low to Uchida, and the count is 1-0. There's a fastball delivered to Uchida, and he swings and fouls it off over on the first base side, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So if you've got the opportunity to ever to go there, looks like they haven't done any changes to the room since 1960 or whatever it is. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Uchida, and the count now goes to 2-1. One of our friends here in the chat earlier, as I was thinking about this, who picked the over, might want to have a do-over on that one. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 3-1. I think Troy said he took the under. Alexander Leggett says he walked off like he knew he had it. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. Like he knows he messed that one up. And here's a pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to short. It is fielded neatly by the shortstop, Chitani. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Uchida. They ground out 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up Hikari Oda. What was cool about that particular place is that we were staying in it, and you could see the double rooms or the double windows. So, like, in other words, the meetings, you could see where they had the the two-sided mirror or the double-sided mirror where you could look at some of that stuff. That was kind of neat. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Oda, who takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We thought that was pretty interesting. Obviously there were probably bugs in every single room. Could hear everything. There was a fastball that just misses low. The count is 1-1. So if you had a mistress or a girlfriend, they would probably be able to capture all that online. They knew everything that you were doing in there. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Oda. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul down the right field line, and it's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oda. His error last inning didn't hurt the Eagles, but it sure made for some entertaining commentary. It was almost gifting the Marines their first run of the ball game. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the particular location there, as we said in Prague, what a great spot. Here comes the 2-2 offering. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. That's going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you updated on some of the out-of-town scores in the next half inning, as we'll keep you abreast on what is happening elsewhere in the NPB. And there is a fastball swung on. It is grounded. Left side of the infield, it is fielded, and they throw to first, and that is going to retire Oda to end the inning. And he is gone for out number 3. That's what happens when you try to take a peek at the scores. Things move a little too quickly. And that is going to do it here in the 4th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 4th. It is 1-0 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Stick around with us, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here is another one of our infomercials, as we like to say, and our friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And finally, it's only taken us to the bottom of the 4th inning, and I think we've all got this sorted out at our end. We still have our B feed running, but everything else is now in pretty good shape. It's going to be Nakamura, Yasuda, and Sato to get things going here in the bottom of the 4th inning against the starter Wataru Kirishima. Kirishima has been, what we saw the last time, very effective. He is able to keep the Chiba hitters off balance. So far, he has allowed a couple of hits today. He's only walked 1 batter, and he's not overpowering. He's only got 1 strikeout. That is pretty much what we have expected to see. He has a pitch-to-contact hitter. He's worked those 29 innings this year. He's only struck out 13 batters, but he does keep the walk rate down. And he lets the offense put the ball in play. So here we go. And Troy is asking, what is the score of this game? It is 1-0 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and squaring to bunt is Nakamura, and he takes a very slow breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nakamura today is 0 for 1. He popped the first his first time up. So here comes the 0-1 offering from Kirishima. He rocks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. I wonder sometimes about the hitters. I know Alexander Leggett had said something where Tatsumi had kind of walked off like he knew it was strike 3. Sometimes you always teach hitters to look away for the fastball. And if there's ever a chance, or every time that you're going to get called out on a third strike, it's going to be a knee-high fastball on the inside part of the plate. Should be looking away and reacting in, but if you're going to be banged out, maybe that's the time that you get banged out on. Maybe. There's a ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2 to Nakamura. And here comes Kirishima back into the motion. He delivers, and there's a fastball that misses down in the way, and the count is now even at 2-2. Troy said, I could have swore you said 2-1 in the second inning. No, still 1-0 here. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. Coming in on it is Hiroki Shimochi. He's got room and space, and he makes the catch, and that is going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and that is going to bring up Hisanori Yasuda. Troy said he didn't make the Tigers game earlier, but he's glad he missed it. Yeah, you didn't get to see any action other than the fact that they left about 10 or 11 guys on base for tonight. And on top of it, they didn't score their first run till I think there was 2 out in the 9th inning. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. I'm looking forward to trying to get back. I was saying earlier, I got my flights booked. Going to be heading into the Motor City at the end of August. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Going to try to see the Mariners and the Royals. That is on the docket. Certainly the Mariners at least once or twice. Heck, I live out here and I haven't seen them once yet this year. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1 to Yasuda. So Kirishima ready to go to work. And here comes the fastball. It is swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. Racing over is Nishikawa, but it's going to reach the stands, and that's going to even the count at 2-2 on Yasuda. Alexander Leggett says in the chat, he goes, feels like I got a lot to say about this game compared to others. The Seattle Mariners should have been better than what they were. I'm reading the chat off as we watch here a little bit. So here comes the 2-2 offering to Yasuda, and it is a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Yasuda has gone on strikes. He's retired for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Toshiya Sato. So 2 up and 2 away here in the 4th inning. That would be the second strikeout of the game for Kirishima. And that is where we're at. Vivid Life says breaks are hard for the third shift. I always find that interesting. Down in the States, you guys call it the third shift. Up here, we call it the number 1. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul. As Sato is in the hole now, 0-1. Sato batting from the left side. He struck out his first time up against the lefty Kirishima, who now rocks into motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that is down in the dirt, but Sato checked his swing and couldn't hold back, and that's going to run the count now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Koki Yamaguchi on deck should Sato find a way to get on here. Here comes the 0-2 offering. They've got him set up outside. They're going to try to paint away. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that's down in the dirt. It's going to run the count to 1-2. Troy asked the question. He says, have you seen how good Isaac Paredes has been playing? Isaac Paredes has got 10 home runs. He was player of the week last week for the Tampa Bay Rays. Unbelievable. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. I think that's a kind reminder to all other 29 major league teams. If the Tampa Bay Rays call you to make a trade, don't pick up the phone. I think somebody said in the Braves organization one time, or maybe it was Kansas City, when the phone rings and the Braves are calling, jump out the window. There's a fastball, and it is swung on and fouled away down the first baseline. The count is now 2-2 to Sato, or still stays at 2-2. The part that the Tampa Bay Rays are laughing about is that they gave away a contract in Austin Meadows. They got Paredes basically for peanuts, but they got the compensation or the competitive balance pick from the Tigers with it. So basically one of the tweener first round picks. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted into the seats down the right field line. And the count remains at 2-2 to Sato. So they probably don't really care what Paredes is doing. They're probably saying, hey, this is a bonus. But we got a competitive balance pick. And I think it's the one between the first and the second round that the Tigers had to give up to get Austin Meadows. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is pop foul behind home plate. That's going to get back into the seats, and it's going to again keep the count at 2-2 to Sato. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Kirishima rocking into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball that swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back is Tatsumi. He's still moving back, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Sato sent it for a ride, but that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the fourth inning. They had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 4 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We got some more cheerleaders for you after this. Hang tight. We're glad you're with us. We'll run this baby over, and you can tell me what you think is the best. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 5th inning, and it'll be the top of the order coming up for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And that is going to be Haruki Nishikawa, Hiroto Kobakata, and Hideto Asamura, the 1, 2, 3 hitters in the batting order. So we're going to look to see what happens there. Our friend Alexander Leggett in the chat is saying that the difference between a good hitter and a great hitter is getting a home run into the center field. Well, sometimes the ball hits the bat, and sometimes the bat hits the ball. Obviously, Jaron Duran today, if you saw that game, the leadoff hitter for the Boston Red Sox, homered just underneath the batter's eye in straightaway center field to get the game going on the first pitch for the Red Sox. And it is I think it was his first major league home run. It was a first pitch fastball delivered to Nishikawa that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. As we said, the Red Sox lost that game after jumping out to a 4-0 lead to the Cubs. So for those Red Sox fans that are in the house, apologies too, because your bullpen is not very good. It's going to be a struggle for the Red Sox down the stretch. So here comes the 0-1 offering, and it is bunted down the third base line, but it's going to roll foul. And the count is now 0-2. Vivid Life says he's confused on the Dodgers moving. The Dodgers aren't moving. It's certainly USC and UCLA are moving to the Big Ten. I don't understand it. I wonder what's going to happen to the Pac-12. The Pac-12 will be scrambling for membership. I mean, you think about it, the University of Washington, Washington State, Oregon State, they're going to have to come up with maybe a Super Northwest division. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2 to Nishikawa. I don't understand how you're going to do that. I would think it's not just going to be baseball, it's going to be football, the whole gamut. Because when you go and you join the conferences, you have to join as a whole. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to third. What a great play by the third baseman, Yasuda. He spins and he throws Nishikawa out at first. It's a ground out 5-3 for out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Fantastic play by the Chiba third baseman. Flash on the leather. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Hiroto Kobakata. Kobakata is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first, and he grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd inning. Ojima has really settled down here after a rocky first couple innings. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Kobakata. 79 pitches for the lefty Ojima through the first 4. There's a line drive right back through the box. That one's going to get into center field. That's going to be the second hit of the ballgame for Kobakata. He is aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Hideo Asamura. Alexander Leggett says the Pac-12 is going through some hard times. This is for sure. He says that the Sun Belt is thriving with the JMU edition. I assume that's James Madison University. So the runner at first base is Kobakata. He's got a very healthy lead. He's got one foot on the turf and the other is in the dirt. Ojima gets the sign from his catcher Sato, and he's ready to go to work. There's one away here in the fifth inning. And Ojima throws over to first, and getting back in time is the base runner Tobakata. Asamura digs in, waiting on the offering from the lefty Ojima, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We do appreciate everybody who's popped in to listen tonight. We are going to make a return leg in the morning tomorrow. I think we're going to do the Yankees and the Guardians. And then we're going to come back late tomorrow and do this same 2 teams all over again. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Asamura, and the count is now 2-0. We said we're probably looking to do about 7 games in 3 days, so we can get ourselves back into mid-season form for a long stretch run in the month of July. So 2 balls and no strikes to Asamura. Ojima again throws over to first base, and again diving back in time is the base runner Kobakata. Leggett says he really likes Ojima's stuff. Well, once he settled down after the 40-some-odd plus pitches in the first 2 innings, he's got a lot better job of command of his pitches. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0. I say that as he's about to walk Asamura for the second time today. He has only walked 3 batters tonight so far, and he's hit 1. And here comes the 3-0 pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and Ojima has put Asamura aboard, and that is going to put runners at first and second with 1 out, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Hiroki Shimouchi. It's also going to bring a conference of Marines on the mound. Shimouchi did bunt his last time up. I can't see him doing it in this situation. With 1 out already here, Shimouchi is one of the more competent hitters in the Eagles' batting order. I say that every time I watch him play, I just think he is a professional hitter through and through. He entered the ball game tonight hitting .277 with 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. His average has slipped to .275 on the evening. So Shimouchi steps in at the plate, hitting from the left side against the lefty Ojima. Ojima checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It is a fastball swung on, and it is fouled off into Shimouchi, and the count is 0-1. Shimouchi will be followed by Ginji. As we said, we were talking a little bit about the Pac-12 there, and for whatever reason why they're going to be joining the Big Ten, I don't know. Those 2 teams, UCLA and USC, and I know, to me, it doesn't make any geographical sense. Here comes the 0-1 to Shimouchi. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and now the count goes even at 1-1. But boy, the Pac-12 is going to have to ask themselves, what are they going to do to restructure? I think it's a move that's going to take place in 2024. I think it's less than 2 years away. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shimouchi. He waggles the bat. The runners are at first and second, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is tapped slowly over to short. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It is not in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It'll erase Asamura at second. 6-4. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Shimouchi reaches at first, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Ginji, and it's going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout. So we have a visit to the mound. And Genji is coming up to the plate. So they want to have a little conference on figure out how they're going to pitch to one of the hottest sticks in the Tohoku batting order. I'm probably talking about a first and third situation here. They got to keep an eye on what's going on here. So runners on the corners. And the batter, Genji, steps in at the plate. Genji tonight is 1 for 1. He doubled and scored the only run of the ball game back in the second inning. He walked in the third. And now he's facing Ojima for the third time. Here comes the first offering. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to second. It's fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first. And that is going to do it. That's a ground out 4-3 to end the inning. The Eagles, they threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There was one hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us. Here is another one of our Matt Hollis infomercials.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt Hollis. We're now cruising to the bottom of the 5th inning in Chiba. It is a 1-0 ball game for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles over the Marines. It has been to be Koki Yamaguchi, Akito Takabe, and Hiromi Oka, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the batting order to face the lefty Wataru Karashima as they come to bat in their half of the 5th inning. It is a windy day in Chiba. The wind is now changed and blowing straight in from center field. The Marines had themselves a little bit of a pull-up meeting there in between innings as they got to get themselves sorted out for this one. Our friend Alexander Leggett says there's a ton of cute kids on the Jumbotron. They definitely do a great job of interaction with the fans. Even in Fukuoka, when they had the iPad faced people last year, when they had instead of the cutouts in the stands, they actually had like robots doing all kinds of things. And here comes the first offering from the left-hander Kirishima, who delivers a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi tonight does not have an official at bat. He's got one plate appearance. He drew himself a walk his first time up. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Just their electronics and the cutting edge stuff that the Japanese have at their disposal is kind of fascinating. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now is 2-1. I think I had the count at 1-2, but they're flashing 2-1 on the Jumbotron. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Yamaguchi. Karashima rocks into the motion. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we watch that last pitch go by, looked like Yamaguchi wanted that one back. He knew that was one that he wanted. Here's the 2-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded past the third baseman into the left field. It's into the corner. Nishikawa in after it. He picks it up and fires it back in. And they're going to have to see how they're going to rule that one. I'm going to say that's probably a double. We'll see what the official scorer has to say. That ball was absolutely scorched. The third baseman, Uchida's had a rough night at the office. He slid onto one knee, tried to backhand the ball, and the ball got right through him like Swiss cheese. Definitely found the holes there. So Yamaguchi is aboard. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Akito Takabe. See what the official scorer has ruled on that one. We don't have a decision yet. We'll come back to that when they make an announcement. So the runner at second is Yamaguchi. And Takabe steps in, but the pitcher, Kirishima, fakes the throw to second base. Yamaguchi absolutely blistered that one. He wanted the pitch before back. You can see his frustration. But he absolutely drilled that one down the left field line. So here comes the first offering to Takabe. And he squares the bunt. He takes it for a called strike as he pulls it back. The runner at second doesn't advance. So no balls and one strike to Takabe. Takabe, who we said runs really well, hit into a double play his first time up to the 4.63 variety. He's got wheels. He's had a very good season this year. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. We'll see if they're going to do it again. The pitcher, Kirishima, holds at the chest. And now he kicks and delivers. They squared a bunt again. This time it's down, and it's a good one. Uchida feels it. He throws to first. A nice play by the first baseman, Genji, to hold the bag. He had to stretch out to get that one. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 5-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to advance Yamaguchi over to third. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Hiromi Oka. And that was ruled a double for Yamaguchi, by the way. We're waiting on the decision from the official scorer. So that ball that got past the third baseman, Uchida, was ruled a double. That ball was absolutely scorched. It was definitely not an easy play. So now with the runner on third, the Eagles have the infield in. And the left-hander, Kirishima, ready to go to work against the batter, Oka. And here's the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Hiromi Oka. Oka batting from the right side against the left-handed throwing Kirishima. Kirishima checks the sign from his catcher, Oda, and he comes now set at the chest. And here comes the pitch, squaring the bunt, and it's down. It's a good one, and that is going to score the runner from third. We've got ourselves a suicide squeeze. Oka gets himself an RBI. It's going to go down as a sacrifice to 1 because the pitcher fielded it and tagged him out. Yamaguchi scores the run to tie the ball game. And that is now we're all square at 1 apiece. And that's going to bring up the shortstop, Kenta Chitani. So that one there was a great job. A late break. A nice bunt by the batter, Oka. The pitch was almost in the left-handed batter's box. He reached out to get it. He bunted the ball, got it down the first base line, and was able to get the run in. And now the score is now deadlocked at 1. The first pitch to Chitani is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Alexander Leggett says he thinks the Marines could have been less conservative there. Possibly so. I think they even could have had a safety squeeze rather than a suicide squeeze. There's a breaking ball that misses low, and the count is 2-0. I know the infield was in. but they might have been able to get the job done that way. There is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Chitani. And here comes the offering as the lefty goes into the motion. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It is a changeup swung on and missed. And Chitani is retired on strikes for out number 3, but the Marines get one back on the suicide squeeze by Oka. He drives in Yamaguchi. They got 1 run in the inning on 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was nobody left on base. We are now through 5 complete. It is cheerleader time in Chiba. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call at the top of the 6th inning. This is our version of Japanese halftime. Hold tight. We'll be right back with you.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out. We got all kinds of other stuff while we wait for the resume to play. Hang tight, everybody.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Welcome back, everybody. We'll take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard from around the NPB. We have a couple of games that are later starts, one in the Pacific and one in the Central League. At the top of the 7th, the Hanshin Tigers have a 4-0 lead over the Chinichi Dragons. 4-5-2 for the Tigers, 0-5-0 for Chinichi. All the runs came for the Tigers in the top of the 3rd inning. At the bottom of the 6th inning, the Murray Giants and the Hiroshima Carp are all knotted up at zeros. 0-3-0 for the Giants, 0-3-0 for the Carp. It's in the bottom of the 6th inning. The only other game going on in the Pacific League is the Oryx Buffaloes are trailing the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters 1-0. For the Fighters, they've got 1-5-0, Oryx 0-2-0. And of course, your game here is all knotted up at 1 through 5. The other games that are going to go later in the Central League, it'll be Yokohama and the Swallows from Tokyo. And the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are playing away to the Saitama Cebu Lions. Those games are going to be following up a little bit later this evening. Your score here is 1-1 through 5 innings of play. And it is Ojima who is going to be returning to the mound for starting his 6th inning of work. And he is the pitcher right now on full display for the Chiba Lotte Marines. We are struggling, as we said earlier, with our feeds. We've got a little bit of a mishmash going on here this morning, or at least about to be this morning in the West Coast. We do thank everybody for being here with us and supporting us in our calls of the games. We are going to be back on the air again tomorrow night. These same two teams will be going at it. And so hopefully you can come on by and check it out. Nash says, missed it earlier. Who did you predict to win? Didn't really predict anybody particularly in this game, as we're now back to the action. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kawashima. It'll be Kawashima, Tatsumi, and Uchida. If I had to say before the game started, I would have favored the Golden Eagles. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. I just think they've got too much firepower on offense, and certainly with the ball game today, there was a lot of the international players are getting the day off, at least from the starts on the Chiba side. There's a breaking ball in the dirt, and the count is 1-2. So it does make a difference in the lineup. Alexander Leggett said the cheerleaders are way too cute. Feels like we can't get cute cheerleaders in the U.S. anymore due to advertising dollars, being afraid of the slightest complaint. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Kawashima is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. One thing that I do find fascinating, and this is more of a global comment, is there are, with the media today and the social media, there is a lot of people that are, I guess lack of better words would be, we find people guilty before there is a trial. So it's guilt of public opinion, or they found guilty of public opinion. There's a breaking ball delivered for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And sometimes that's not always fair. I think of that in pro athletes, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I look at a guy like Trevor Bauer. In the court of public opinion, he has been found guilty probably numerous times. There's a breaking ball that jumps over for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. But yet he can't get himself back into Major League Baseball. I've been calling for years that he might end up over in Japan. Why not? Roberto Osuna can get a job there. Why not? There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Nash says, if I ever watched the CFL, have watched the CFL, actually used to have tickets right on the sideline. Literally. There's a breaking ball that is check swinged and missed, and Tatsumi goes down on strikes for the second time. That's the second strikeout of the inning for Ojima. So 2 away, and that is going to bring up Yasuhiro Uchida. I did a little bit of work for the Canadian Football League when I first came out here. But not much else. That was it. The first couple of years, and saw enough, seen enough, done enough. No more football for me. Here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. There is a fellow who's my neighbor who is the first Canadian to officiate in the National Football League. He got hired about 3 years ago. He was on one of the crews for the last 3 seasons. Had a playoff game, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. There was a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Real solid official, young fella. Know his dad quite well. His dad was a longtime CFL official. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And now the count is 2-1 to Uchida. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And there is a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count is 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, well, I don't know if he is actually still my neighbor anymore. They were 1 street down. His dad lives about 5 blocks down. I think him and his wife have moved in a little bit, have changed homes. And moved just slightly in the similar area, but just over a few more blocks. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Ochida is retired on strike. So Jima has struck out the side here in the 6th inning. The Eagles go quietly. They go 1, 2, 3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're now through 5.5. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We got our A feed running. Let's hope it can run for the rest of the night. Here is our friend Steve again.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Thanks again, Steve. By the way, Zero Fox has got a winner for last month. Be sure to check out his channel after the game and let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. Here's Dave. Check out and be sure to enter any of his videos this month and let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you. You'll be in line for a mystery pack of cards.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Fox Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a tie game. We are 1-1 and moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the suicide squeeze in the bottom of the 5th. It scored Koki Yamaguchi. It was Hiromi Oka who got the job done as he had the hopscotch almost out of the batter's box to get to the pitch in the left-handed batter's box. But he was able to get it down, and that is where we are now, tied at 1. And it is going to be the top of the order, Takashi Ojino, Katsuya Kakunaka, and Shogo Nakamura to get things going against the left-hander Wataru Kirishima here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Kirishima is at 80 pitches through 5 innings. And here he goes into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We've got an entertaining ball game here tonight, and we are expecting to come back and go again tomorrow. And there is a fastball swung on. It is a ground ball over to the third baseman. Chino fields it. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Ojino in a ground out 5-3 for out number 1. Alexander Leggett says, how do we know that Last Raps Baseball sent us? Just go on any of his videos over there, click on it, leave the comment after you watch the video, and just say, hey, Last Raps Baseball sent us, and you'll be entered in the month of July. As we said, Dave's got a winner. He's going to be producing a video for us in the next couple of days. And we'll run it acknowledging our winner for the month of June. There were 2 winners in the month of April, but nobody won anything in the month of May. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Kakunaka. For Katsuya Kakunaka, he's 0 for 2 today. He is flown out and grounded out. He takes a breaking ball that drops in the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kakunaka. Kakunaka waggles the bat. He's got that open stance. And now here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul down the first base line. That's going to run the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the left-hander Kirishima gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kakunaka. And here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a bit deceiving, the weather in Chiba. It is a very sunny day. Some of the players have long sleeve shirts on, but the temperature is probably offset a little bit by the amount of wind that's blowing on there. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. Sometimes I always check the weather reports, what it is like in the locations. prior to the game. Sometimes it's because more along the lines of want to see if there's rain in the forecast. It looks like it's 87 degrees right now in Chiba, and they've got players in long sleeve shirts. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now runs full to 3-2. There is quite a bit of wind. As we said in the last inning, the wind was blowing from straightaway center field in. Right now, they say it's blowing from the southwest at 15 miles an hour. The flags at the top of the stadium might say it's blowing a little faster than that. Here's the 3-2 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Ranging over to his right is Tatsumi. He makes the catch. And Kakanaka is going to be retired for out number 2. And that is going to leave it up to the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Right at the peak of the temperature right now in Chiba, as I said, it's 87 degrees. They say with the humidity, it feels like it's 95, but yet the pitcher's got long sleeves on, as does the hitter, Shogo Nakamura. And some of the crowd have umbrellas up. So here comes the first offering. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura is a right-handed stick. He waggles the bat, and Kirishima rocks into the motion. He kicks, and he delivers. And there is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. And Alexander Leggett says Kakanaka is a funny name, and there's a breaking ball that is down. They appeal to the first base umpire, and says he didn't go. Well, the literal translation for Kakanaka into English is in the corner. So if you go and you take a look at the translated names sometimes and you take it for what they are, sometimes you get these odd translations. I believe it was Hiromi Oka, who his last name is Hill. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Nakamura. And here comes the pitch from Kirishima. He rocks into the motion, he kicks, and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it as the Marines go down in order here in their half of the 6th inning. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are through now, 6 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the top of the 7th inning after this. Everything is rolling good now. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this one.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Thanks again, Steve. Welcome back to the ball game. We are going to have a pitching change, as it is going to be Taiki Tojo coming into the game to replace the starting left-hander for the Marines, Kazuya Ojima. Ojima leaves the game after really battling through the first couple innings, able to settle himself down, and he left on a high by striking out the side in the 6th. So Taiki Tojo into the ball game to replace Kazuya Okajima. The specs on Tojo are as follows. This is going to be his 35th appearance of the year. He's 2-2 on the season. He has worked 32 2/3 innings. He's allowed 30 hits, 9 walks. He's struck out 32. He's given up 7 runs, and all have been earned. And he's pitched to a 1.93 ERA. This is arguably the best year of his NPB career. This is his 8th year with the Marines and 8th year in the NPB. We do want to welcome Troy to the house. We appreciate you for being there. And we thank you for there. And hello and good morning. And a good day to you as well. And we've got our friend Troy here. So we've got Tojo stepping in. And the first batter is going to be Hikari Oda. It'll be Oda, Nishikawa, and the shortstop Kobakata. I don't know what just happened there as Tojo delivered a pitch. Looked like time had been granted as Oda had stepped out. He wasn't ready. Saw a little gamesmanship like that. Troy asked the question. He says, how much left of the NPB season? There's a fastball that misses down and away. We're pretty much at the midway point right now. Each team has got about 70 games or so under their belt. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-1. There are some all-star games coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks' time. They play a couple of games. Not sure if we're going to be able to get you the feeds on those ones. I know that it's on, I believe, on Asahi TV over in Japan. There's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-2 to Oda. So Oda today is 0 for 1. He grounded to short his last time up, and he has walked. And there's the fastball that is swung on. It is grounded over to short. It is fielded by Chetani. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. And so one up and one away, and that is going to bring up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. Yeah, so Alexander Leggett says it was about 120-ish last year. Actually, I think it's 144, if I'm correct, which is a normal season for the NPB. I'll have to go back and do a double take on that one. And it is going to run very similar this year to the MLB season. Last year, because of the Japanese, because of the Olympic break, they went right till into November. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Nishikawa. So it was an extended season last year. There was a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Nishikawa. So they are back to a normal length of schedule. Here's the 2-0 offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-1 to Nishikawa. Tojo wastes absolutely no time. He gets the ball. He is ready to go. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. And it is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and now the count is to 2-2. Alexander Leggett says, I'd put the under on now if I knew it. Yeah, it's probably in this situation. It's going to be tough against these bullpens to get some runs. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 3-2. I don't think I've called an extra inning game yet this year in the NPB. This one here has got the makings of it right now. It is shaping up like we are going to be here for some extra innings in Chiba. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And there's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Ranging over to it is the left fielder, Ogino. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Nishikawa for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 away, and that'll leave it up to Hiroto Kobakata. So Kobakata on the ball game has got a couple of hits today. He is 2 for 3. You know, the Golden Eagles only have 3 hits tonight. 2 of them belong to this man, the shortstop, Hiroto Kobakata, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Both of his base hits have been right back through the box. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. Troy says, that's with every bet. I wish I had a time machine. Well, the other thing to this is there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. As I said before at the outset, the thing is that you can't get the lineups till about 45 minutes before the game. So I had no idea that Martin and Laird and Hechevarria wouldn't be in the lineup today. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. I think that also makes a big impact. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. That's the 3rd hit of the ball game for Kobakata. And he is aboard with a 2-out single, and that is going to bring up Hideto Asamura. Well, I would say this. Keep your eye on Kobakata. He's already got a stolen base tonight, which was his 8th of the year. Now with the right-hander in the game, Tojo, I would expect that he's going to have to be off to the races, so they got a chance to maybe drive him in with a base hit. So if we're putting monies now, this would be the one to say, will Kobakata steal a base? I say he's going here on the 1st or 2nd pitch. There's the breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Alexander Leggett says, I found out the under 5.5 at, yeah, probably. I don't think this game here is going to see much more than maybe 1 more run. And it does look like the starter, Kirishima, is still going to come back in the ball game. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say Asamura didn't go, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Again, just a programming note, we're going to add in tomorrow morning the Cleveland Guardians and the New York Yankees, the first game of their doubleheader. It's a day-night double dip. It'll be Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into center field. But there is going to be lots of room for the center fielder, Takabe, to make the catch. That's going to retire Asamura for the 3rd out of the inning. So they go quietly in their half of the 7th inning. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 6.5. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th inning in just a couple moments. Here's another one of those commercials for Alexander Leggett, or our infomercial, as we like to call it. Let us know again what your thoughts are. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is going to be the heart of the Chiba batting order coming up. That means it's going to be Hisanori Yasuda, Toshiya Sato, and Koki Yamaguchi. And the Golden Eagles are staying with their left-hander, Wataru Kirishima, as he is back on for the 7th inning of work. And to answer the question to Alexander Leggett, he says, are those for sale? Are we holding out on us? I am actually going to be putting in a order for some of that stuff. I know we got a few people who've inquired about it, and they've laughed. I said, yeah, well, we could throw that in. I haven't ordered anything out of Japan in a bit, although we have to say that the currency is favorable right now to buy stuff. I've actually stocked up on some Japanese yen, anticipating a journey over to Japan here somewhere in the next 12 months once they allow us back in the country. There's a fastball that is missed upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Yasuda. Yasuda is 1 for 2 today. He has singled and struck out in his 2 times to the plate. Kirishima ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-1. On June the 10th, they started allowing tour groups, but only organized tours of people, tourists. And I think it was only about 20,000 tourists a month into the country. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. Well, I have no interest in joining a tour group. I'm my own tour guide. I can figure out my own things, go on my own. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As for right now, Alexander Leggett says, wanted to go before the pandemic. Wish you got some yen before that. There is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count's 2-2. Actually, no, you wish you didn't do it, because when I went over before the pandemic, I was literally there less than 3 weeks before the first reported cases in Canada. Here's the 2-2 offering. And there is a fastball that just misses outside. The count goes to 3-2. Anyways, the long and the short of it is that at the time it was approximately 1 Canadian dollar would get you about 89 yen. And that was what it would be traded publicly. And I think it was about 105 yen, something like that, for 1 US dollar. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it was 108. But now it is way more favorable. There's a breaking ball that misses inside to Yasuda, and that is ball 4. And Yasuda's aboard with a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Toshiya Sato. So Sato, he comes up to the plate, and Yasuda is now going to be pinch run for. I have to do a double check on my pinch runner here, but it looks like it is, I think that's possibly Wada off the top of my head. We'll get that for you as well. Nope, that is going to be number 57, Ogawa, into pinch run, and they are squaring to bunt. And there's no doubt there, as Sato has already come out squared around. They throw over to first base, and diving back is the runner Ogawa. Safely. So the middle infield is in double play depth. The runner at third, or the third baseman, is on the green turf. Sato is waggling the bat. Here comes the pitch, and it is bunted. It's down. It's back to the pitcher. They throw to first. That is going to do the sacrifice. It's a good bunt by Sato. It's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-3 for the first out. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Koki Yamaguchi. I'm just going to go backtrack. We were talking a little bit about the exchange, and that looks like it's going to bring the manager out of the Eagles dugout, and we are going to have ourselves a pitching change. That is going to be the end of the line for Kirishima. He did well today. He went 6 1/3 innings, but his day is now over, as the runner Ogawa is at second base, and we are going to have a change. So we'll see a pitching change for Koki Yamaguchi, as he is coming up to face the new pitcher for the Eagles. We'll let you know who that is when we get back in just a couple moments. Stay with us, everybody. We appreciate you being here. It is a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're glad you're with us. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It's Naoto Nishiguchi coming in. He is a right-hander who is going to be making his 28th appearance of the season. He is 2-0 on the year. He's worked 22 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 15 hits, 9 walks. He has struck out 23, and he has allowed 9 runs, 7 of which have been earned, and he's got a 2.78 earned run average. So Nishiguchi is in. We were chuckling earlier about some of the literal translations of names. They're saying how Ramioka, his last name is Hill, and Kakanaka is in the corner. Well, the literal translation for Naoto Nishiguchi is west exit. So if you're looking for directions and you want the west exit, ask Naoto Nishiguchi, as he may be able to help you out. But that's kind of interesting, as we say, on some of the literal translations. Not making fun of the names. It's just interesting. There's some of the stuff when you think of in different languages, I think of German. The German language, which is glove in English, is Handschuh in German. It's a shoe for the hand. And so you get a kick out of some of those type of literal translations as well. But that's what it is, and that's what we have. So we got the runner at second base, which is Yasuda. The coming to bat is Koki Yamaguchi. He is 1 for 1 today. He has doubled and scored a run. He's also walked. And he is batting here with Ugawa at second base. And here's the first offering. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up on the infield. It's playable as the first baseman, Genji, has come in and he's made the catch. So with one pitch, Yamaguchi is retired. And he has gone for out number 2, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Akito Takabe. For Takabe, he is officially 0 for 1 today. He grounded into a double play, and he had a sacrifice bunt to advance the runner over to third base his last time up. And he bats here with 2 out in the 7th. Alexander Leggett says this is where we would have the president's race at Nationals Park. Yeah, that's about it. The 7th inning would be the delay in the action where they would be keeping everybody entertained. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Coming hard is Nishikawa, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it. And on 2 pitches, Nishiguchi comes in and gets the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. And the Marines are retired, and that is going to do it here in the bottom of the 7th. There was no runs, there were no hits, there were no errors, there was a walk, and that leaves 1 runner on base. We are now through 7 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th inning in just a few minutes. We're glad you guys could be with us. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher again. Be sure after the game to check him out. And we appreciate his support of our channel.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We do have a pitching change, and a unique one at this. It was interesting to see, as it looks like we are going to see, or our first time we're going to see, Roberto Osuna coming into the ballgame. The former Toronto Blue Jay and Houston Astro closer has entered the game. And one of the things that's unique is that in Chiba, the relievers come in, driven in by a Mercedes-Benz convertible into the ballgame. Osuna must have said, forget that nonsense. I'm running into the ballgame, and he ran in from the bullpen. So Roberto Osuna, he must have had that in his contract. Said, I'm not getting driven in on this bullpen cart. So Osuna, who is arguably could be in the prime of his career, had some off-field issues that got him into trouble when he was in the big leagues. But Osuna is in the ball game, and he is taking over here. As I said, it's the first time I've seen him pitch in Japan. Got to see him a lot on TV for the Blue Jays. Osuna has got, it's going to be his third appearance. He's got 1 win and no losses. He's pitched 2 innings. He's given up 1 hit. He's walked 1. And he struck out 1. He has not allowed a run. Obviously, we're in the top of the 8th inning. It's not a safe situation here. So Osuna in the ball game. He is going to face Hiroki Shimochi Genji and Kaizo Kawashima. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. He's a little bit different on the food chain. That last pitch was in at 94 miles an hour. He's going to come in and break some bats for sure. Here comes the 1-0 offering to Shimochi. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is now 1-1. Osuna right in the prime of his career. Literally, Toronto had to give him away for next to nothing to Houston, and Houston just walked away from him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. He is sitting right in that 93 to 95 mile an hour range. And not only 93 to 95, he's got some run on the pitch. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shimochi. And here's the offering from Osuna. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second. Nakamura fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to be the first out of the inning. It goes down as a ground out, 4-3 for out number 1. And that is going to bring up Genji to the plate. So for Genji, he is 1 for 2 today. He doubled and scored the only run for the Eagles back in the second. He walked, and he's also grounded to second. So 1 for 2 on the evening. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Genji. Our friend Alexander says Osuna really hammered those in. Yeah, he's coming in, and he's painting some corners there. That's probably the first bad miss there on the ball down to Genji. 1 ball and 1 strike. I have a feeling that this is going to be a quick inning here for the Eagles. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is going to be 1-2. So as I said earlier, we haven't seen many extra inning games in the NPB, or I haven't done many, but this one here has got all the markings of extra innings tonight. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Genji. Osuna wastes little time. He gets the ball, goes back to work. And I will say this, sometimes you see players and how they fill out and how they are. Osuna looks like he is a solid package. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. Runs the count to 3-2. You can see Osuna was upset with himself. I think he wanted something better than that. So that runs the count now full to 3-2 on Genji. Osuna shakes off his catcher, and now he comes set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted softly over to the shortstop, and it's going to be an easy catch for the shortstop, Chitani, and that is going to retire Genji for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it up to the second baseman, Kaizo Kawashima. So Kawashima today is 0 for 3, but he hasn't faced Roberto Osuna. He has struck out, he's grounded out, and he has flown out to right field. And here's the first offering from the right-hander. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. I have to go back and do some of my history, but I believe Osuna had spent some time in the Mexican League for a little bit after Houston Astros walked away from him, and there's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now is 1-1. Alexander Leggett says the third one says it might look like it takes some more effort, but I think he'll get it done. Well, Kawashima is not exactly at the dish here, a potent hitter. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. Coming underneath it is Nakamura, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it. It is a 1-2-3 inning for Roberto Osuna. Here in the 8th inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, and there is going to be another pitching change for the Golden Eagles. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you all being here. But hang tight. This is where all the action is about to happen. We're saving it up to the end. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. There is going to be a pitching change. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up to bat for Chiba in their half of the 8th inning. And the way it's shaping up is we're probably going to have a 1-run ball game here between now and the end. That was a pretty impressive performance by Roberto Osuna in the 8th inning there. He was able to waltz right through the 4, 5, and 6 hitters of the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles batting order. I wonder if his day will be done after this one. But it's going to be Oka, Chitani, and Ogino to get things going. And as we said, there is going to be a pitching change here for the Golden Eagles. We'll get you all the specs here in just a moment. As we said, that was pretty impressive. It was almost men against boys. So we'll have to get you the changes as we have it here. It looks like that it's going to be number 56, Sora Suzuki, a left-handed pitcher coming in the ball game now for the Golden Eagles. Sometimes we're a little bit slow on getting some of the stuff. But he is going to be pitcher number 3 used on the evening. It was an impressive performance by the last pitcher, Nishiguchi, who only threw 2 pitches to retire the 2 batters he faced. Not too bad. Got him to get him on the first ones. So Oka is coming to the plate. His average has slipped to 194 on the season. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's grounded out to the pitcher, but he's also sacrificed back to the pitcher. Suzuki has been very impressive for the Golden Eagles this year. He's worked in 16 games. He's had 13 innings pitched, only allowed 4 hits, 5 walks. First pitch is a fastball swung on, and this is driven foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats for 0-1 to Oka. Just some more information on the pitcher, Suzuki. He has walked 5, struck out 14, but only given up 1 run, and it has been earned. He's got a 0.69 ERA. Here comes the 0-1 offering. There is a breaking ball down, and down in the dirt goes Oka. They appeal down to the first base umpire as Oka skips rope out of the way. Count goes even at 1-1. It was Oka's sacrifice bunt on the suicide squeeze that brought home Yamaguchi back in the 5th inning. So that is the only RBI for the Marines today. And here comes the 1-1 offering. Kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. We got John Cardona in the house tonight. We haven't seen you around in a while, John. We appreciate you for being in here. We thank you for stopping by. It's a great ball game tonight. If you like pitchers' duels and not a lot of action, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1 to Oka. But that's okay. We could be here for extra innings, and that's what it's shaping up to look like. Extra baseball means more beer sales in Japan. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. And it is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Oka. We've had a pretty good crowd in here this evening, and we do thank y'all for being here. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch from Suzuki. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into left field. Racing back on it is the left fielder, Nishikawa. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Oka on a fly ball that's sent to left field for out number 1. Alexander Leggett says it means more beer sales in America too. Probably an extra trip to the refrigerator. So no balls and 1 strike. Check that. Here comes the first offering to Chitani, and that is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. As I highlight that we were getting on the in-between. Got a different feed going on this one over here. So 1 ball and no strikes it is to Chitani. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. This is not vintage Suzuki by any stretch. Based on what the numbers we've seen, I've not been impressed with the left-hander here tonight. John says, does it also mean Rakuten money line alive? This game has had its moments. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes to the 9-hole hitter, Chitani. You certainly don't want to walk the 9 guy. Chitani is 0 for 2 tonight, and he's not done anything on the season particularly. He came into the game with a .222 batting average. You don't want to let the 9-hole hitter draw walks. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Chitani waggles the bat, and here comes the 3-1 offering from Suzuki. And it's a fastball that misses down, and the 9-hole hitter is aboard. The base on balls with 1 out here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order, Takashi Ojino. It is one rule difference that's going on in the NPB, and that is that the pitchers, there's no 3-batter minimum for the relievers, as there is right now in Major League Baseball. If you bring a pitcher in the middle of the inning, he's got to face 3 hitters. If you bring him in and he retires the 1 out he faces, well, then you can take him out at the end of the inning. I actually kind of like that rule because it takes away the quote-unquote situational left-hander. If there's 1 on, nobody out, comes in to face 1 batter, you got to make him face at least 3 guys. And Suzuki flips it over to first base, and getting back in time is the base runner, Chitani. It was just a token toss by Suzuki. For a left-hander, that must not have been his A move or his B move. It looked like more of his C move. Now he throws a little bit better move over to first base, but getting back easily is the base runner, Chitani. I don't know if I like that move by Suzuki. I'll have to go watch that one again. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now is, I've got 1 ball and no strikes to Ojino. That's what they've got on the scoreboard as well. Suzuki looks like he's going to get himself into trouble here. The runner at first is Chitani. He did have Oka take him to a full count. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 2-0. And if the alarms aren't going off in the Eagles' bullpen right now, they should be. He just doesn't have it tonight. Alexander says maybe a coaching issue. I think maybe it's time to pull him out issue because he just doesn't have command of his pitches. 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and it's now 3-0 to Ogino. There should be a 5-alarm blaze going on in the bullpen. They've got to be heating somebody up. You don't get the views at this park of the bullpens, so we have to rely on sometimes the video. Sometimes you get the camera views, especially the Saitama Cebu Lions. You'll be able to see the cameras or the televisions in the dugout. Same thing in Fukuoka, but not here. Here's the 3-0 offering. Suzuki delivers. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 3-1. Yeah, he's going to have to make an issue. They're going to have to get him out of here quickly. It doesn't look like he's got it tonight. He's about to throw his 16th pitch, and 10 of them have been balls through the first 15. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 3-2. Maybe he'll battle all the way back, or maybe he'll be able to induce a double play ball and get himself out of this pickle, because he is about to dig himself a hole. So here comes the 3-2 offering. Gino waggles the bat. Suzuki checks the runner at first. He throws over again to first base and diving back in time. Again, I don't like that move from the pitcher. Left-handed pitcher, he has this quick snap throw. It's fairly easy, though, to determine that that's exactly what he's going to do. He doesn't really make a change different. He kind of steps at about 45, but he doesn't really sell it. So here comes the 3-2 offering. He kicks and delivers, does Suzuki. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up down the first base line. Racing over is Genji, but he's not going to have the room as it bounces into the netting. That's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Ogino. The wind was probably aiding that. Wind is still blowing in quite heavily. The flags are straight up. It is a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Marines have a runner at first. The top of the order, Takashi Ogino at the plate with 1 away. Here comes the 3-2 offering from Suzuki. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into left field. It's down for a base hit. Nishikawa picks it up, and Ogino is aboard with a single. That's going to put runners at first and second with 1 out. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Kobakata. It's going to bring the manager out of the dugout, Suzuki. Looks like he is going to be done for the night. Although I have to say this, it's the manager who is coming out to the mound. Normally we see the pitching coach, but Ishii is out to the mound for a visit, so maybe he's not done. Coming out to talk to his young lefty. Normally the pitching coach will come out and the manager just goes straight to the umpire to make the change. But they're going to leave him in the ball game. Well, that was interesting. That's not typically what you see in the Japanese league. Usually the manager doesn't make the trip. Pitching coach will make the first one, or if the going to make a change, the manager goes straight to the umpire. So maybe they wanted to talk about something defensively here. So that's runners at first and second. Ogino is at first. Chitani is at second, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Katsuya Kobakata, who is 0 for 3 today. He's flown out to center field twice, and he's grounded to second. So Kakanaka at the plate. So here comes the pitch. And there is a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to Kakanaka. Kakanaka batting from the left side against the left-hander Suzuki. This is a clutch situation here as they've got Shogo Nakamura waiting on deck. Suzuki holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. Kakanaka is in the hole now at 0-2. A little surprised that we haven't seen the firepower come off the bench in Laird or Martin or Hechavarria. Maybe it was a late Friday night out for the imports last night and they needed the afternoon off today. So Kakanaka really chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes and he really sinks low in the box. Here comes the pitch. And it is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 0-2. That's something I noticed with Kakanaka before, and we've seen this in his other games, his approach, how it changes with 2 strikes. Normally, he has an open stance at the plate with less than 2 strikes. He balances himself off with 2 strikes, and he really chokes up on the bat. Nash says that Suzuki is going to need to be saved by Marine mistakes here. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. The Marines will probably do something to themselves here. That's sort of been their mantra. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Just when you think that the Marines are about to do something, they shoot themselves in the toe. Probably the big toe. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kakanaka. He waggles the bat. Now he's waiting on the offering from Suzuki. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball down. A nice stop by the catcher Oda. But that's going to run the count now to 2-2. It's been not an easy inning for Suzuki. That's 23 pitches. You got to give the Marine hitters credit for this. They've really made him work. He's not been sharp, but they have battled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is to Kakanaka. So here comes the 2-2. Suzuki kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Oh, Kakanaka wishes he probably has that one back. And he is gone on strikes for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it all up to the captain, Shogo Nakamura. A breaking ball that stayed inside. Kakanaka couldn't keep his hands inside, and as he looks to the skies, as he turns and walks back to the dugout, I think he wishes he had that one back. So 2 away here in the 8th inning, and that is runners at first and second. Shogo Nakamura steps to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's popped the first, flown to right, and has struck out. So here comes the first offering to Nakamura. He kicks and delivers, does Suzuki. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. You would like to think, or you would hope and think, that the Chiba Lotte Marines can get a run in here. You know, you'd think with Kakanaka there at the plate, all he had to do was get the ball in play to move the runners along. There's so many extra ways to score when the runner's on third, when the runner is at second, even though he is in scoring position. Here's the offering. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now is 1-1 to Nakamura. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Even though we were saying on the one side that the Chiba Lotte Marines might be messing something up, or they might make a mistake, as Nash suggested. And I can see, for some reason, the catcher doing something crazy here, not blocking a ball, letting it get by him. Or maybe even throwing the ball into right field again, as he did earlier in the ball game. So Suzuki steps off the rubber. He's going to recycle the signs with his catcher, Oda. Nakamura stands in, waiting on the 1-1 pitch. He holds at the belt, does Suzuki, and now he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. We got a few extra people now in the chat listening in. We appreciate you guys being here. This is a potential turning point in the ball game. It is 1-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. There's runners on first and second. Shogo Nakamura is the hitter at the plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakamura. The lefty Suzuki comes set at the chest. He checks the runners. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. A base hit here with the runner in scoring position. And Chitani, being that runner, can probably score as he runs fairly well. So here comes the 2-2 offering. He kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and that count goes to 3-2. That was pitch number 29 of the inning for Suzuki. One would think no matter what happens here, this is probably going to be his last batter. Either the last batter of the inning or the last batter of the evening. Either way, this could be the final pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We got Mario Marino in here. We appreciate you stopping in and listening from El Salvador. Thanks for stopping in tonight, Mario. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Holding the ball at the belt is Suzuki. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and that is going to load the bases as Nakamura has drawn himself a walk. He is the runner at first. Ogino moves over to second. Chitani goes to third, and that is going to bring up Ogawa, who came in earlier to pinch run for Yasuda. It's going to be his first at bat. They also have come in to talk to their young pitcher as the defense, but it looks like the Eagles are going to leave him in. It's 30 pitches right now so far in the 8th inning. They're not taking him out. They're going to let him hang here. Literally. He's going to have to do it himself. There's nobody there to bail him out. I guess it's a gut check time, and you got to find out if he's got anything in the gut. So on the season, Ogawa is 3 for 27. Surprised that the Marines don't have any other options they're looking to go to off the bench. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled into the shin of Ogawa. Earlier, our friend Alexander Leggett was starting a count on players who wear shin guards. We were talking about long swings. Well, I don't think Ogawa was wearing one, but he definitely needed one on that swing as he fouled it off his front foot. So here comes the 0-1 offering to Ogawa. Suzuki delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just a reminder, we are going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow for these same 2 teams, same time, same place. We're also going to do a game in the morning with the Yankees and the Guardians. So hopefully you guys can pop in for that one. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. That count is going to go to 1-2 now on Ogawa. This game was clipping along pretty good through the first 4 innings, and then all of a sudden, we got into the 5th inning, and the breaks have come up. It's a little bit of a surprise because it's a 1-1 ball game. Usually in the 1-1 affairs, game has some tempo and pace to it, but not this one. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-2 to Ogawa. Suzuki is really struggling here tonight. 18 of his 34 pitches have been balls by my quick mathematics. So here comes the 2-2 offering to Ogawa. He checks the runners, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-2 to Ogawa. There's nowhere to put him. The bases are full of Marines. It is now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yasuda. To Ogawa, who's batting for Yasuda. The runners are going to be on the move as long as the pitcher delivers to the plate. And now Suzuki steps off and he reaches down for the rosin bag. And he's going to get himself back set up and do this all over again. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ogawa. Ogino checks the pillars around him. Here we go. And here comes the 3-2 from Suzuki. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And he has walked in the go-ahead run. An RBI for Ogawa. So Ogawa doesn't even have to put the bat on the ball. Nakamura will go to second. Ogino will go to third. And coming home and crossing the plate is Chitani. And that is going to put the Marines up 2-1. It is not quite the way I envisioned this one to be. And Suzuki is still out there on the mound. Are they going to come and rescue him, or is he going to be able to get out of this one here? Amazing. You could tell on the second batter of the inning when he wasn't able to find his pitches to Chitani, and he walked him. They were calling for the bullpen right then and there, but they stayed with him. I guess they want to find out what he's got. And the other piece is I don't know where the Eagles are in the last few days with their bullpen use. But they're staying with him. Suzuki is now going to face Toshiya Sato, who's got a chance to blow this thing apart. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 0-1. Troy says a close game here, but I'd have to say that the Eagles are kind of giving this one away. So no balls and 1 strike to Sato. Suzuki holds at the belt. This is going to be his 38th pitch of the inning. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Sato. Sato tonight is officially 0 for 2. He struck out and flown out to center. He's also had a sacrifice bunt. Sato has not had a great season at the plate. He entered the game tonight hitting .225. He has really struggled offensively this year, as have a lot of players in the Marines lineup. So here comes the 0-2 pitch from Suzuki. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. It squirts away. Here comes the runner from third, and it's going to score. That is going to be a wild pitch. The block by the catcher, Oda. Remember I called it earlier. I said something's going to happen. Oda was not able to control the ball. The ball ended up going back out toward the pitcher. He picks up the ball and throws it to the catcher, not in time. It's going to be a wild pitch as Ogino scores. It's going to put the Marines up 3-1. It'll advance all the other runners up a base as Nakamura goes to third and Ogawa goes to second. That's going to run the count to 1-2 on Sato. Yeah, Mario Marino asked the question, what? And John Cardona wants to know why is he still out there? Well, here comes pitch number 40 of the inning. And there is a breaking ball that's down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. It's going to run the count to 2-2. And Troy is in the house. He says, how many outs? There are 2 outs here. It seems like it's been 2 outs forever. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sato. And Sato has asked for time. Now he's going to go back. He's got to get some more spray for the bat. A little bit more pine tar or the liquid variety. So if you're a fan of the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, you got to be shaking your head right now as unbelievable. John Cardona says, any thoughts on this play? The play as in your bet? Oh boy. And there is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Coming in on it is Shimouchi. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. We are going to be going to the 9th inning. So for the Chiba Lotte Marines into their half of the 8th inning, they had 2 runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left on base. We're now through 8 complete. It is Chiba 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. And we'll give you all the action here in the 9th when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We're glad you guys could be with us.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change, and it is going to be the closer coming in for the Chiba Lotte Marines, and that is going to be their closer, Masuda. And he is going to be taking over here in the 9th inning. This is Naoya Masuda. He is working in his 31st game of the year. He's got an 0-1 record. He's got 18 saves. He has pitched 30 innings. He's allowed 23 hits. He has walked 8. He has struck out 25. He's allowed 6 runs this year. Check that, 11 runs this year, 9 of which have been earned. He's got a 2.70 ERA, and he is going to be facing the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order. It's going to be Ryosuke Tatsumi, Yasuhiro Uchida, and Hikari Oda for the Eagles in their half of the inning. So Masuda on in relief. That is what we will be looking at now here in the 8th inning for the 9th inning here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles jumped out to that 1-0 lead early on, and it has been all Chiba since then. And now Masuda looking to seal the deal on this one. Our friend Mario wanted to know who the batters were, and we said it's the bottom third of the order. John Cardona, I wanted to know any thoughts on the Fukuoka Cebu game a little bit later, as Fukuoka is going to be staying out. The starting pitchers in that game are going to be Naoya Higashiyama. The first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike to Tatsumi, and the count is 0-1. And they're going to be going against Birch Smith. To me, I wouldn't touch it. Birch Smith is 1-0 for the Lions, and I haven't seen him pitch in the NPB yet. Higashiyama is 6-2 on the season. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2 to Tatsumi. Tatsumi has had a rough night at the office. He's been hit by a pitch, and he has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. So here comes the 0-2 offering from Masuda. He kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch down in the dirt. The count goes to 1-2. So I haven't seen Smith at the NPB level. And Higashiyama is been pretty steady so far this year. It is a battle of 1 versus 3. This matchup is 2 versus 4. The win, if the Marines can hang on here, it's really going to tighten things up in the Pacific. There's another split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 2-2 to Tatsumi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, a kind reminder that we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night for these same 2 teams. So if you're around, pop on by. We'd love to see you again. And here comes the 2-2 offering. And Masuda kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. Troy says Chiba is looking good now. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Before this game has started, I would have probably said that I still would have had my favorite. I would have probably picked the Golden Eagles. If I get time tomorrow, I might even be able to do another round of predictions for tomorrow's games. I'll have to take a look. As a fastball swung on, it is grounded softly over to second. It's fielded by Nakamura. He throws to first. That's going to retire Tatsumi on a ground out 4-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Yasuhiro Uchida. I'm surprised we haven't seen any pinch hitters yet to face Masuda. They have not dipped into the bag of tricks yet. So Uchida is 0 for 2 tonight. He's also got a sacrifice fly, and he knocked in the only run that the Eagles have scored. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. You can just see a little bit of difference between the pitcher for the Marines here, Masuda, and the 8th inning setup of Roberto Osuna. Osuna was really pumping gas. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on. It is popped up on the right side. It's playable. Coming over is Nakamura. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Uchida for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and it's going to leave it all up to Hikari Oda, the catcher. We're going to take a look to see if they're going to run a batter in for him. Stick around at the end of the game, everybody. We are going to do a recap around the NPB. I'll give you the scores from around the league. Then we'll wrap this baby up, and then we'll call it a night. We appreciate you guys again for being here. The Golden Eagles are down to their final out. I'm not sure if this is, it looks like it's a pinch hitter, and I think it's Igoro Moji. The first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's exactly who it is. Moji is into pinch hit. Always a little late with the announcements. So Moji is got no balls and 1 strike on him. And here comes the pitch from Masuda. It is a fastball that misses down in the dirt. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Moji does not have a regular place in the lineup these days for the Golden Eagles. We watched him play quite a bit last year. He's had a few knocks that have kept him out of the lineup early on. Here comes the 1-1 offering. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1 on Moji. We're talking about players who could have good games or do things, and Moji was one of those players last year who we really seemed like every time we called the Golden Eagles game, he would do something positive, that is. So here comes the 2-1 offering. Holding at the belt is Masuda. And now he kicks and he fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded fair down the right field line. It's past the diving first baseman, so the Eagles still have life. As Igoro Moji is on board with a base hit, and that's going to bring up the top of the order. It's going to bring up Haruki Nishikawa. He absolutely scorched that one, and it looked like it hit the bag and bounced over the head of the first baseman. We had to get the replay of that one. So they got a little bit of help there. The first baseman, who is now Sato, they made some changes. And the catcher has moved over to first base. As he dove, the ball hit the bag and it ricocheted over him. He had no chance to get it once it hit the base. He couldn't assume it was going to do it. So Nishikawa comes to the plate. He is 0 for 4 tonight. He swings at the first pitch he sees, and he fouls it off down the third base line. It's going to reach the seats. That's going to run the count quickly to 0-1. As we mentioned about Nishikawa, he was the player of the month in the Pacific League for the month of March, April. But since then, he has been on a swoon. He has entered the game tonight hitting .224, and he's 0 for 4 tonight. So they are in crunch time, but the Eagles do have life here. There's no balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. Not much life. On deck is Hiroto Kobakata, who's got 3 hits tonight. And the Eagles only have 5. There's a fastball swung on. Another one that's popped up down the left field line. Racing over is the third baseman, Gawa, and that's Ogawa, but it's going to reach the seats. The count is now going to be 0-2 to Nishikawa. So Masuda's got him in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Just remember, everybody, as we said, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night for the same 2 teams, 10 o'clock on the West Coast. If you are on the East Coast, it'll be at 1 a.m., so hopefully you can pop in and join us. We'd love to have you back again for Game 3 of this 3-game set. So here comes the 0-2 offering. Masuda holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Racing back on it is the center fielder, and that is going to be hauled in by Takabe for the 3rd out of the inning. Nishikawa gave it a ride, but not far enough. And that is going to do it here as your final score is the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. We'll wrap this baby up. We're glad you guys are with us. I'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard and all the other information you need after this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. It's Dave's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. All the early games are finals around the NPB. We'll start with the Central League. The Hanshin Tigers knocked off the Chinichi Dragons 5-2. 5-7-2 for the Tigers, 2-9-0 for the Dragons. Ito gets the win. He goes to 5-2 for the Tigers. Matsuba takes the loss. He goes to 3-3 for Chinichi. And it was Iwazaki who picked up his 15th save of the season for the Tigers. Again, your final score, Hanshin 5, Chinichi 2. The Hiroshima's Carp scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. A home run by Ryan McBroom did the trick, his 9th of the year. It was Kemna who got the win for the Carp. He's 2-0. Hainai takes the loss for Yamuri. He's 3-3. 2-8-0 for the Carp. 0-5-0 for Yamuri. There is a later game in the NPB in the Central League. Yokohama and Tokyo will get the start. That game doesn't go until 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific. And that is going to be just a little bit later, in about 40 minutes' time. In the Pacific League, the other final score outside of this one was the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters knocked off the Oryx Buffaloes 5-0. 5-9-0 for the Fighters, 0-5-0 for the Buffaloes. Ito gets the win. He's 6-6. Yoshinobu Yamamoto takes the loss. He drops to 8-4. It was Usami who homered his 4th night for the Fighters. Again, they win 5-0. Well, your score here, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. It was a leadoff double by Ginji, and then he was brought home on a sacrifice fly by Ichida. That put the Eagles up 1-0, but that was where the scoring ended for them. In the 5th inning, it was a leadoff double by Koki Yamaguchi. He was sacked the 3rd by Takabe, and then Hiromi Oka on a suicide squeeze brought home Yamaguchi to tie the score at 1. It wasn't until the bottom of the 8th inning when the Eagles went to the bullpen to bring in Sora Suzuki, and he lit the fire and he set it ablaze. And that was where they scored 2 runs, did the Marines. After retiring the first batter, he walked the bottom hitter, Chitani. Then it was a single by Ogino. He struck out Kakunaka to make it 2 out in the inning. But then a walk to Nakamura and a bases-loaded walk to Ogawa brought a run in. And a wild pitch when Toshiya Sato was at the plate brought home his 2nd run. in that inning, and that was where it stood. Your final score: the Chiba Lotte Marines 3, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is the stuff for tonight. We appreciate Alexander Leggett for being here. We thank you for being there. You said any thoughts on the last 2 games tonight? Just a couple of thoughts on it would be this. The starting pitchers for the late games, the Yokohama Bay Stars, they are sending Hirohiro Hamaguchi to the mound. He's 2-3 with a 3.78 ERA. The Swallows are sending Cy Sneed to the hill. He is 4-2 with a 3.71 ERA. If I had to give you some thoughts, I would say the Swallows are my favorite to win that game, with Cy Sneed taking to the hill. At the Balluna Dome in the home of the Saitama Cebu Lions, it'll be Neo Higashiyama going for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Birch Smith takes to the hill for the Lions. Smith is 1-0. Higashiyama is 6-2. To me, that's a flip of the coin game tonight. I don't know if I would take either of them. If I was putting money on either of the games, I'd probably lean toward the Swallows, but that's entirely up to you. That's my thought on that. Josh S., Troy, Alexander Leggett, our friends that came in, John Cardona, Mario Marino, everybody else who was here tonight, Nash. We appreciate everybody for being here tonight through our call of the game. Once again, everybody, it's been a Last Rouse Baseball video production. We'll be back on the air again tomorrow night, the same 2 teams. We'll be coming back in the morning, and we are going to be doing the Yankees and the Guardians. That game is set to go off at 9 o'clock on the West Coast or noon on the East Coast. So come on in. Garrett Cole's on the hill, and I don't know who's going for the Guardians, but don't matter. I want to see Garrett Cole and see what he's doing this year. Come on back again, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a great night, and we appreciate you all for being here.